What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We're back with another Musume video. I hope y'all had a good weekend. And in today's video, as you can see, today is on Monday. But in today's video, we are going to be doing round 2, day 2. Well, I guess I should have said it the other way around. Day 2 of round 2 for the Champions meeting. And the reason why, well, if that didn't give a hint, I am recording, it is the weekend, so most likely my Pretty Derby videos are, for Monday videos, are recorded pretty much a day earlier for those who don't know. For those who don't know. But it also made it perfect because since after day 2 of round 2, it'll be the day off. So Monday would initially technically have that day off. So technically today would have had nothing. Or at least Monday would have had nothing CM related to do. Probably would have just went back to the Masters Challenge, but ultimately decided to just like, you know what? Let me just show what happens in day 2 of round 2 because I didn't get a single win in day 1. And I'm kind of just like, this is bad. I didn't really find the time to train. I found myself, well, I guess I should explain myself while the races are going, or at least before. But let me just have this here. But before, you know what? Let me get the races started, and then we'll go. I'll talk about it during the first race. So yeah, before I go into the story, the little mini story tangent, whatever, my reasonings and all that, and the races. If you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in, and it's called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. Then after that, head over to the comment section or the circle request channel on the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But yeah, before I forget, because I tend to forget what I'm trying to talk about when I jump into something else real quick, say something real quick, and then when I come back to what I want to talk about, I forget. So basically, I spent Friday finishing Silent Hill, like I said I would, and I ended up doing that. Then I didn't even get to record or progress in Pokemon, so I didn't get to record Pokemon because I can't progress in Pokemon without recording Pokemon. So I'm still wherever I was. Well, at the moment, I'm still where I was, where we left off in the series or in the game. And then not yesterday, but Saturday, I couldn't record because for the most part, I spent like about 3 hours, about 2.5 to 3 hours, editing the Silent Hill video. The reason why it took that long is because, well, like, I was cutting parts, removing, just basically editing it into one whole video. I think it came up to like almost 8 hours for the whole run. Well, I guess about 8, maybe a little over 7, because I did talk for a good bit after. But yeah, basically the whole playthrough, edited stuff there, took a bit, because obviously I took some stretches, took a break. Didn't want to. Ooh, will Cowstone Light hold off? I hope so. Hold on. No, Durandal. No. But I guess I'll finish what I'm talking about before going into the comments. And then after editing, rendering it, it took, I would say, about 3 hours as well. almost close to 3 hours. So that took a good chunk of Sunday away. Not Sunday, Saturday away. Because prior to that, what did I do prior to that? I don't remember what I did prior to that. I don't remember what I did prior to that. I'm actually trying to remember, but did I finish Silent Hill prior to that? I don't remember. Let me actually check my folder, because what did I do? Oh no, I know what I did prior to editing the, what is it? I hope I get that video out today as well. Because I found out that there was a third endgame mode for Zenless. What was it called? What was it called? It was like Threshold something like that. Let me see if I have it here still, because I did see it. Thresholds. I think it was Threshold Simulation Branching Echoes. Yeah, Threshold Simulation. So I found it earlier this week. I didn't mention it because I was like, okay, let me take a look at it real quick. Like, do the easy mode and all that. And that was actually a week ago. And I took a look at it and did the easy mode, and I was like, dang, this feels like there is a little story to it. And there is multiple endings. It's like 3 endings, but you only really need to do one. Just like how, you don't have to do all of Deadly Assault 9 stars. As long as you get 6, you get, yeah, pretty much you just need to finish the whole thing. I think all with S's, obviously. I think the way when I finished it, but basically it's a pretty long end game. It's not, and it doesn't update every 2 weeks like Shiu and Deadly does. Whenever they update, after they update, I think it's like every month and a half or something. Because I saw like 40 or 30 something days. I'm pretty sure I saw 40 something days earlier this week. So it does refresh quite long. I don't know. I wonder if it mentions it in anywhere here. Give me a sec. Let's see. I just want more information to see if when it refreshes or whatever like that. But I will say, this is what I will say about the Threshold Simulation endgame. If it really is the endgame. Because I really feel it does, because I did see the refresh and everything like that. You need at least 5 teams. At least 5 teams. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought I would have been short of a character for my 5 teams if I didn't shuffle people around and used Lucy. After a long time, I haven't used Lucy, so I haven't updated her drive disk or anything. I don't even know if I completely finished building her, because the last time I mentioned Lucy, I pretty sure I said I didn't completely finish her, but she was sweet. Like, she wasn't to her full capabilities as a support, so to speak. Like, she had stuff, but it wasn't complete, or it wasn't at its best. So yeah, I actually did record that prior to editing, and that took a bit. Actually, that took like, I want to say like 2 hours, like, because I had to, well, 2 hours because there was, it's actually fairly long, I'm not gonna lie. There's like 4 or 5 main nodes, and then the first two you needed like 4 teams, or was it just the first one? And then the last two, or the other ones aside from the first one, you needed like 5 teams. And then the second to last setup, I had to start from the beginning again, so you guys won't see it, but I had to basically redo fights again to refix the teams, because I shuffled characters around to make it work, and then from then on it was fine. And then also too, there was a few fights where I was like, I restarted because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like I was doing good, or I was just getting beat up, or I died. One of the characters died, so yeah. For the most part, it's doable as long as you have the characters, or as like you have enough characters to do the whole thing. Enough characters built, because that's what, 5 teams. You need 15 characters at the very least. Let alone are those 15 characters the right characters that you built? Are these 15 characters you built the right ones for the fights and all that? So for the most part they are. For the most part they should be. It's more if you have the characters or not. And if you can beat the boss as well. I don't know if you need... I should have checked the rewards more. I don't know if you could just clear it and not need all S's. I'm just assuming you need all S's because of shield defense, and I made that comparison to it. Or, I mean, yeah. I just made... Yeah. I just assume you needed all S's, so... Don't quote me on that until I can be sure about it. I'll probably mention it in the next video if I do talk about it. Or if I'll probably bring it up, but I'm fairly certain you do want an S. I'm fairly certain, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. But for the most part, it is doable. You just need to have the at least 15 characters built. And then if you do have 15 characters built, you should just be able to clear the content. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that took time before editing. And then yeah, so my Saturday was pretty much that IRL stuff. Yeah, that and IRL stuff. Zenless editing. I didn't really squeeze in time for like Pokemon or Pretty Derby. If anything, if I was putting in time for Pretty Derby, was for global, because the event is, well, I think later today is when the summer event leaves in global, so that's pretty much why is trying to get the points pretty much. So yeah, that's the reason why I wasn't able to do any extra recordings for, or not extra recordings, extra runs for JP, nor record Pokemon. So in a way, what I wanted to do, what I had planned to do, I did part of it, which was Silent Hill, but at the same time I didn't get to do the extra, and that was at least record some kind of, at least one video of Pokemon would have been nice. before recording Pretty Derby. Other than that, I can finally get started with Dead Space, which I will be, as of where I am right now, here now, today. Not the time you guys are watching, but me right now. And after I get the Pokemon video recorded, I will get started with the Dead Space. I don't know how long how long of a session I'll do today, because obviously things come up and all that. But I'll try to do a long enough sesh to where I feel like I'm more ahead than behind, based on me trying to get it out by Halloween. By Halloween. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get it done, as long as I don't procrastinate, which for the most part I didn't procrastinate on it. It was more like I was more like, yeah, Silent Hill I started off pretty much a month ago, and then Little Nightmares came out, so I did both Little Nightmares and Silent Hill. Of course, on this, aside from that, I'm playing all the other gacha games, recording Pretty Derby, playing Zenless and all that. there was a story for both Zenless and Wuwa, so that also took time. But yeah, Little Nightmares and Silent Hill. After I finished Little Nightmares, I finished Silent Hill that same week. And then from there, I was just playing Silent Hill in the back to get to the point where I wanted to record my final playthrough of it, which was the hardest difficulty in both puzzles and the story, Lost in the Fog, while also getting a true ending. So that took pretty much most of the, I guess you could say most of the Dead Space time, because outside of that, Pokemon started. So that was also taking some time outside of recording. And here we are. So I'm fairly certain I could push out Pokemon. I mean, not Pokemon, Dead Space. And then before I do jump into the comments, I know normally I'm already in the comments by after the first race, but I kind of just thought of an idea after, playing Silent Hill, Little Nightmares, even playing Pokemon right now, and about to play Dead Space later. I was thinking, I have all these games that I've wanted to play, that either I've gotten, because if you guys know, Epic Games do give free games here and there, and for the most part they have given free games of games that I've actually planned to play, but then it never really bought it, so I never played it. But then when they released it as one of their free games, I got it, but never came across to playing it. So besides games in Epic, there's also games in Steam that I probably do have that I had bought but never really came across to playing. It's probably not as much as Epic because, but there are some games in Steam and in Epic that I do have that I did at one point plan to play but never came across. And I thought of an idea to maybe just do this on the side. Like, how I have Zenless and Wuthering Waves there for whenever I do the updates of the story, or for example Zenless, the Shield Defense and the Deadly Assault. Maybe I'll post a video, not every day, not every day like I was doing with like Silent Hill, but and Little Nightmares, or like here and there whenever I come like have time to play it and record it. I'll play these games that I've planned to play in the past, and just get it off my list and see how I feel about it. So it doesn't matter what game it is, like the genre and all that. It's just a matter of me just kind of just like a chill session of playing games. Like, for example, let me take a look at my Epic library real quick and name one game that I'll probably play if I were to do it. Ghost Runner, I did have that. They did recently put Ghost Runner 2 for free like a month ago, and then they did the same thing with Ghost Runner 1 like a year or two ago, I think. That could be one. Made of Skur. Ghostwire? Was it that I mentioned that? The other one was Ghost Runner. Ghostwire. I've played that already. Death Stranding. Actually, I don't even remember whatever Death Stranding was, so I don't really know, but I just originally did want to play it. I just don't know anything about it. No, that's a long time ago. Oh, you guys are not seeing. You guys are totally not seeing. You guys are seeing my list right now. I apologize. Oh. You guys didn't see that one race. I'll probably I'll probably cut that part out. So basically just a couple games. If there was a weird cut for that one race or whatever, is because you know what? I'll leave it in. It's kind of funny in a way. You guys just pretty much saw whatever was in my like I'll pop it up again. No, I shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. You know what? I'll pop it up again here. If you guys are looking at the screen right now, I had this popped up. So most of the screen was covered by my library here. So you guys were probably could see like what was in it. But yeah, there's a couple games here, like A Plague Tales, Innocence, Neo. I don't know if I have Neo 2 here, but yeah, there's a good amount of games in my Epic library that I do want to play. I guess I'm just leaving it all in. And yeah, I'd say like maybe it'd be like a good thing. I get to play the games. Like I said, I get to play the games that I've thought of playing. And at the same time, you guys can get content out of it. And the whole idea of it is like my approach with Dead Space will be the same with these games. Would be similar to Silent Hill. Whenever it comes out, because as of right now it's uploading. I started uploading it like a couple hours ago, and where it's not gonna be me sitting and talking while playing the whole time. It'll most likely be before the initial start of the game. I'll probably say like couple things, and then once the game starts, for the most part just be silence or just me just sitting here just like concentrating on the game, and maybe here and there I'll say something, but maybe not directly towards you guys, but more like just to myself while I'm playing, kind of just like talking to yourself while playing a game, something like that. So for the most part there won't be any commentary. Maybe a little bit if I do feel like I want to say something about something. Say something about something. Have something to say about whatever happened, or I just, like I said, if I just feel like saying something. So yeah, that's pretty much the approach. So I might actually do that because it doesn't seem like a bad idea, because like I said, I get to play the games that's just been sitting. and you guys get an extra video here and there for the day, depending on when I play and record it. But yeah, I should probably get into the comments. I should probably get into the comments because we are already a good amount of tickets in. And I didn't mention it whenever it had happened, but I think it was Oh no, I think it was Cap. I think it was Cap, but because Castle Line nearly won that one race we paid attention to. But we did get our one win, so we are going to Group B finals. At the very least. So, with that being said, let us start going over the comments, because I'm behind on that, time-wise. So I'm gonna try to keep my responses a little bit shorter than I would normally do. So, starting off with the comments, first one is from Rick. I managed to get to Group A Round 2. Congrats. Congrats. I did also. And it's been a pain in the butt and scared me because I didn't get a win until a couple races ago while I was talking about the whole thing I was talking about and accidentally blocking off the screen. That's my bad. That's my bad. I didn't know that I don't know why it picked up on the epic window. That was weird to me. That's weird. And then Nova responded saying, Rick strong, Eugen strong, me weak. Says the guy who got 5 wins apparently. Apparently. But Eugen says strong. I thought we see each other on Group C finals. I wonder where Eugen ended up in. If he made it to Group A or B. But I guess we'll see later in his comments. Later in the comments. But thank you, Rick, for the comments. I don't think he had any other comment. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yes, thank you, Rick, for the comment, and Nova and Eugen for replying. Next comments are going to be from Nova. Yep, I can only say that's a rip. Just hope that you can figure it out for round 2. Well, the only way that I can survive round 2 is if I get 1 win, which thankfully we did. So we're just going to go back down to Group B. And that's really the only way that I could have figured it out. Or the only way to have survived round 2 is to get at least 1 win, which we did. No more. I don't want any more. Well, if we do end up getting 3, at least we'll end up still in the finals. So at the very least, I did the bare minimum, getting back to Group B. And not getting completely booted off from the CMs instead. It doesn't matter which generation it is. I always have a Gardevoir in my team. Now with Mega Gardevoir, that's really popping off. I think that's the Vivlos for me of the Pokemon world. I guess for me, in terms of Pokemon, there's always going to be those few Pokemons where you're like, yeah, I will always want to have this specific Pokemon built, whether if it's for my team or for online. I'll pretty much have that. It's pretty much been, when I come around it, Sylveon. Because I do end up building a good amount, but I don't know, because I didn't do it for Legends Arceus, only because of Scarlet Violet. I didn't feel the need to do it with Legends Arceus because I kind of just treat it, obviously it's more of a side game. So I didn't really feel like I needed to do it. In comparison to Scarlet Violet, where I did do it, and also like I did and usually try to do is complete the Pokédex, which I did. And usually with the new generation games, Scarlet Violet and all that, with the speculations of the new ones coming out next year at the earliest, I think. Um, I'll most likely be doing it for that one and this, but I think I'll do it for this one if I find a shiny Eevee. Pretty much. But there's always like repeating Pokemon, obviously, that'll end up being in my team or end up getting built if I do come across it. Well, that too. The fact that the art style and the childish theme around Alola really changed for the worse, if I may say, is what I don't like about Alola. The Pokemon themselves are kinda meh. I'm from Hawaii, sure, but this region is not it, man. Just like their stupid pineapple pizzas. Yeah, like I said, the childish theme, you know, having Ash be the best he's ever been at the time. At the time, because I will say the way Ash ended was his best, Pokemon battling wise. Personality wise, well, he went back like 5-10 years after X and Y when they went into Alola. Like he legitimately became a 10-year-old. He went from someone who was like maturing, getting close to the late teens, you could say, because he should have been grown up a long time ago, but that's besides the point. Instead of keeping that at the very least, we went to like legitimate like 10-year-old Ash. Like he seemed more childish than season 1 Ash, like original Ash. The Pokemon in Alola I actually didn't mind. In my opinion, I prefer them in a way. Barely. But in a way, I kind of liked it more than Black and White. Like I said, Black and White or the 5th generation is my least favorite, so. As for the pineapple pizza, I don't love it, nor do I hate it. I'm kind of just neutral. If there's pineapple on pizza, I'm not going to hate on it. But I'm not exactly like, oh, this is the best thing ever. So I'm gonna just stay neutral on that. I don't really consider the last season of Pokemon with Ash really a Pokemon season, since there's this kind of dual protagonist thing going on. I don't really care for the guy. I think the only thing about the other guy was his addiction with Mew. Kind of boring in my opinion. The cool thing about the season is all about seeing the old characters. That Greninja man. I'm tempted to choose him as a starter, but I'm going with the Foxy Mama. Wait. In what game, though? Because if... Did you not see the starters for ZA? Are you walking into Pokemon Z completely blind? At least this is my assumption, because I'm gonna let you figure it out once you start playing. But speaking about the last season, I think for the most part it was still more mainly about Ash. For Go, yes, he was in a sense a main character, like shared main protagonist, but his story still wouldn't have mattered if Ash wasn't there. Like, yes, he still had his own goals, his own parts, and all that, but Ash was still there in some way, shape, or form. So in a way, you could say this was still with Ash, but we kind of just got like maybe an episode or two or 3, because that can happen, of just focusing on Go, the other character. But I think his addiction with Mew is all right. I mean, yeah, that was he wanted that to be his first Pokemon. Sure, but it eventually just turned into just wanting to, in a sense, kinda, in a sense, Go became Go's dream essentially became like Ash's, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Because he started catching every single Pokemon and collecting every single one of them. So in a sense, Go became the version of Ash that Ash didn't become. Because in the beginning, Ash was like, yeah, I'm gonna, catch all these Pokemon and all that. But even since the beginning, he didn't catch every single Pokemon. And some Pokemon he'd catch, he let go. And even then, he doesn't even really catch that many Pokemon throughout whatever region he is. So in a way, if you think about it that way, in a way, maybe Go was introduced into the series just for that reason. Maybe. Who knows? Depends on how you want to think it. Although, I just haven't really gotten into the recent Pokemon. But I guess that's besides the point because I didn't start it. It's more like I'm just letting it build up. But I kind of did like it for the same reason, where they brought in all these other characters from the past, getting them more involved and all that. So that was definitely the biggest plus. And I think for the sake of me going over the rest of the comments, with this, I will do the final ticket, just so I can have something in the background for you guys going on, even if it's not gonna cover all the rest of the comments. But next comment says early consumer gets the Switch too. Eh? I can probably literally walk into Target and get a Switch 2 today. Like, let me see Target. Let me check Target right now on the website if there is a Switch 2 console available. Why can't I type in their thing? Switch 2 console. In stock. Oh, look, what do you know? Let's even see. Well, I'm not gonna need to get any games. You know what? The Mario Kart World bundle at the very least. And then where's the store? Right here. Pickup. In stock. Most of the Targets around me are in stock with a Switch 2. So I don't need to worry about it. Early consumer get the Switch 2. So does the late ones. I can still get a Switch 2 right now, even if I wanted. Even if I didn't want to, which I don't want to, but it's not the right time. I don't feel the need to just yet, because thankfully, Game Freak didn't get greedy and just release Pokemon for the Switch 2. Thankfully, but I would need it at the very latest. At the very latest, I don't remember when Fire Emblem is getting released, so I'm just gonna go with the game that I do know that's gonna get released, and it's the next Pokemon next year. if speculations are correct. But I'm pretty sure Fire Emblem would get released way before that. So maybe by Fire Emblem? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if they got any more bundles. Maybe like some kind of special edition design Switch 2, because my Switch one was just the basic Gen 1 Switch. So besides getting a different colored Joy-Cons, that's pretty much it. But yeah. I did also play that spin-off Fire Emblem game where you can use that 3 houses characters in a Dynasty Warriors format. That game was kind of fire. Yeah, the spin-off games are usually pretty fun. These spin-off games are usually pretty much fun. The game, and then like, yeah. I usually play most of the Fire Emblem games when they're out, as it's shown in my playlist. I did play the recent ones. I haven't really tried to do all the endings for a lot of narrative games. Well, this time I did it for 100 Days Defense Academy. 100 endings. That should be good for a while. Didn't you say the DLC had like a lot more endings also? Yeah, 100 endings will... I mean, it depends. Are those like 100 endings also related to... are connected to 100 walkthroughs? Like full walkthroughs? I would probably doubt it. I don't know. I probably will. I don't know. I didn't play the game. But regardless, 100 endings will totally make up a lot of games that you didn't play all the endings for. The main lore for Xenoblade 3 is interesting, but somehow I feel drawn to Xeno 2. The first half of Xeno 2 was not that interesting to me, but the later half is pretty good. I think that's fine, because usually you would want the later half of the story to be better, right? Because if it ended up boring, then, well, that means the game... I would say if a game started off better than the way it ended, then the game would at best be just average, or just a little bit better than average, to be just mid to bad. So I would hope that the game would end better than it started, for the most part. But story-wise, yeah, Xeno 2 was great towards the second half. I think if you really want... I feel like if you really want comparison, you probably would have to finish Xenoblade 3. But I would say I definitely did, and I think I just also have... I don't know. I don't want to say bias towards one of these two, but I did enjoy the series regardless. Probably more than the original one, to be fair, for Xenoblade 2. Plus, I also have I got it when I went to Genesis 7, the tournament. There was a booth that had their art, and 2 of them was Pyramithra, and I actually really liked it. And this is actually just up here. And one of them, I picked up 3 because he had a deal going on. Oh, typical deal, like buy 2 get this, buy 3 get a little bit more of a discount. And I bought the Pyramithra one, and then I bought a Byleth one, or female Byleth. So yeah. The RNG in getting good stats has always been a pain. I think tuner is not an issue, especially I've been playing day 1. If we're talking about the tuner materials, yeah, I feel like that's been the case. Good thing about Zenless is the music shop that lets you tune the disc. Wuwa should get something like that. The modifier itself is nice, but could use a bit more quality of life. Oh, where you can pretty much... Well, if you think about it, the modifier in Wuwa is pretty much like the calibration thing for the tuning when you pick the main stat you want. So the only thing that... No, I think that's pretty similar because you have that, the modifier and the calibration tuning to get the specific main stat you want. And then in Wuwa, you pretty much just bulk exchange bulk exchange echoes for for more echoes. Kind of like in Genshin for your artifacts where you use like 30 something artifacts and then you get like 10 in return or something like that. Whereas and then in Zenless, obviously we just have the items where we just get more drive discs from that. So no, I think Wu is pretty much the same. That's why I didn't really have any complaints. I don't know. I don't know what difference you're talking about. So you probably have to elaborate on that a little bit because as of right now, as I went through what I said, it still doesn't seem any different to me. Because I might be I'm just saying what I understand out of it. So I don't know what you're trying to say about it that's different. Because it still seems the same to me. I'd seriously consider CZN to be better than I thought. You would seriously consider, or do you seriously consider it? Did I make that make sense? I'd seriously consider CZN to be better than I thought. Or you're saying that you would consider CZN to be better than you thought if, well, said reason. I don't know, but it has I think it has the making of a solid gacha. I won't have a full impression of the game until I finish re-rolling my butt off this weekend. I haven't started because I'm busy with the other games. I was busy with Silent Hill and all that. I made the whole explanation in the beginning. I don't know why I skipped it. Why did I skip the race? Oh well. Grinding is one thing, but I'd lose it if it takes months to unlock one character in DNA. I just don't have the time to grind, man. I think it only takes months, in my opinion. I don't know anything about the game or anything like that. I would say it only takes months, obviously, if you procrastinate. That's all I got. That's all I got. But we'll see how it is. Should be releasing soon, no? But enough talk about the CM. It's time for that League of Heroes Dirt Auto Parent Fest. And then Tanoki says, I got some good grandparents out. Now just need one more generation. And then Nova says, I'm getting the sense that the next scenario has better white factor, but for now I can only train an island. I think for now, I'm gonna try to maybe train dirt a little bit. But the new scenario is like literally coming out really soon, so I don't know. I don't know if I should. But thank you, Tanoki, for replying. Just don't forget to do the CM finals this time, Shushu. I'll try. I'll try. Face palm into Group A. Congrats. LOL. Yeah. I'm back to Group B though. That's all. So it didn't matter that I made it to Group A. They should have just left me in Group B if that was if that was where I was gonna end up anyway. I heard Natland is just either you hate it or you love it with no in between. Nodcry is looking to be fire with Alice coming later. I'd pull for Alice if I still play Genshin. Clean my account needs her mama. I guess you could say, but I think most of the hate was like all outside of the story, in my opinion. Like a lot of the hate, because it was during the strike, so people were hating on the voice actors. Because, you know, hating on the voice actors, at least for the global side, we're hating on the voice actors. And then they were hating on character designs, character design choices. Heck, there was drama on the 4-star with Auroron. Then they were complaining on... Yeah, there were just way too many complaints for Natland. I felt like that's where most of the hate came from. Because at least while the story was going on, I didn't hear much about the story when it comes to a lot of the community getting mad at it. I heard more just hate towards Natland in general rather than the story. So yeah. Nodcry for now. I did the first story. I don't know. I guess you could say it's just a start, so I don't really have much to say. Will I be pulling for Alice later? Probably, most likely, but I still haven't done any pulls. I did think about pulling for Lauma, but then since I didn't pull for Lauma, it kind of just held me back to not pull for Nefer. But I think for sure next patch I'll pull for Columbina. I think the two for sure I'll be pulling for is Columbina and Sandrone. And then Alice is like is a most likely. And then whatever after that, I guess. It's Genshin. I don't really. It's the least serious out of the Hoyo, like the Zenless, Star Rail, and Wuwa. Is the least serious out of the 4, I would say. And then lastly, I think this is lastly from Nova. So while I was doing the mini gliding event for Wuwa, I haven't done an event in Wuwa, so I haven't checked. I should probably check. I realized something. While using Galbrena, there should be an option for us to use her Echo Flight wings instead. It's lore accurate and kind of missed opportunity on Kuro's pass? Kuro's pass? I don't know what you mean by pass. Part? I'm pretty sure you meant part. Kind of sad. Yes, I will agree. I will agree. I didn't think about. I'll be honest. I didn't think about it at first, but now that you mention it, yeah, that was something. That was definitely a detail they missed out on. Optional or permanent. I guess to me it didn't matter, but I didn't notice it at the same time. Yeah, they totally should have gave her wings, like her legitimate, like her actual wings in story. Because that actually would have been pretty cool, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Does it change things for me? Not really. Is it a missed opportunity, like you said? Definitely is. Definitely is. But thank you, Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate it. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are gonna be from Eugen. First one says, "No, why? Just peaked video. No Uma yet. Me eat lunch, which is hot dog or sausage." And then Nova says, "I saw you made it to Group B. Liar, not lighter." I'm gonna go look at Eugen's next comment to see where he says he goes. So we'll see. But it makes no difference to you, Nova, if he did lie and then he did make it. If Eugen did make it to Group B, I don't know what he lied about. But it makes no difference to you, Nova, where like nearly every CM you're just like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it to Group A. I'm gonna just go to Group B." You know? So yeah. Well, let's see what Eugen says in his other comment, which has more stuff in it. So let's see. You guys talk about Switch game. Rick also have Switch. Me envy. Me stomp leaving the room. Oh. Nova accidentally made to Group A. Looks at the lineup. Durandal, King Halo, Valentine Machan. What BS? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Man, Nova is the guy who is the guy everyone knows should be the most set up and ready for something. But then he'll be the one to be like, "Oh no, I don't think I'll be doing as well this time around. I think I'll just be making it to Group B. I don't know who to use because I don't know who to use between this character, that character, or this character." And he literally states probably the best characters to use for said scenario, which he did, or said CM, which he did for the short distance one like a month ago, and got called out by Tanoki at that time. and then next thing you know, he just easily gets into Group A round 2 and then goes, and you know, it's like, yeah, this isn't a new thing, Nova. We kind of get it. We kind of get it. You're gonna BS us around saying you can't make it into Group A and you're just gonna stay in Group B or go for Group B and then just go into Group A like nothing happened. So I don't know. But continuing on, trying to rage bait by Jelly, I was like, why? The Uma use was like, yeah. But yeah, wow. Third win with Sports Bakushin, more than envy than the other easy peasy getting Group A with popular Umas. I was just using what I have, to be honest. If I had the Randall, I would have used the Randall. I like the character. Way more than Nova does. I'm pretty sure I do. I'm pretty sure I do. So I would have used the Randall regardless. Because I just liked her. But I don't have her, so... And yeah, as we know, it's Nova. He will find reasons to try and possibly piss you off. Yes, I say piss you off because he will purposely do things that you don't that you say you don't like or whatever, and will basically try to troll you into getting a reaction out of you, as we all know in the past, and still going on regardless. Then, oh, speaking of accidentally and going to Group A in round 2, I accidentally qualified to Group A of round 2. Did you? I'm more inclined to believe it coming from you than Nova, because he said you made it to Group B, but you said you accidentally qualified to Group A of round 2, so I don't know. But you said because I'm only using Twin Turbo, Wedding Current, and Sweep Tosho for round 2. Will not expect much. As you can see, the effort I prepared for this scene was like meh. We'll just follow Rick's footsteps. I don't know who went to, if you went to Group A or Group B. I will just wait for the next comment. Nova says rage bait, more like jelly bait. It's more troll bait. It's more like you just trying to bait people to get into reactions for enjoyment. And that's pretty much it. But thank you, Eugen, for the comments, and Nova for replying. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are gonna be from Tanoki, the next comment. And I think it's the only comment. Yes, it is. And it says 30 wins in round 1. Pretty chill CM so far. All 4 of my Umas relatively equal. Dodo, Brian, KSM and Callstone, all similar-ish wins. And then Nova says, wait, KSM, the OG one? But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the OG one. And then Tanoki says, I don't think I've pulled since Autumn KSM came out. I don't think you mentioned you pulling her for her, at least in the comment section. Autumn? I wouldn't know. I think that was a recent one. Yeah, that was a recent one. Wasn't that the one that came out like a month or two ago? Or like 2 months ago? I think. I don't remember. But thank you. Well, it seems like you did have an easier time in the CM. So, sounds like you're most likely in Group A. Most likely. I mean, you should be. I don't think I've ever heard you go to Group B. So, yeah. Thank you, Tanoki, for the comments. Appreciate it. Next comment is from Korn. And it says, whoa, what's this one? That's a, whoa. If you played Sun and Moon competitive battles, it was garbage. Every team. Ranatapu and Kartana. And non-effective moves. Still one-shot Pokemon with max defense IVs and EVs. For the most part, I still built competitive Pokemon. Especially if we're talking about back in the day. But I never necessarily played online. The most I do was like just build Pokemon to go against like my brother, friends. I didn't really start trying online until Sword and Shield. But then I realized it would only last like a couple months before I completely stopped playing Pokemon. Like, yes, I could keep playing the game and keep going for things that I plan to do. It's just after doing it for a couple months, and it gets old. So let's say I already did what I want. Like let's say at that point I'm just going for specific shinies and all that. Like, even though, yeah, at this point it is way easier to get a shiny than it was back in the day, it still takes time. It still takes time regardless. And I don't get anything out of it, even if I do get it. So not even like, yeah, I'll get hyped the second I get it, but then after that I'm just like, now what? So it is what it is. That's the reason why I stopped playing Scarlet Violet online ranked battles after like 2-3 months. Because I don't really find myself online Nintendo online. Like, even though I have these games and, you know, you can play online, it's like, I'm just there for the single player part, or either co-op or just like playing multiplayer games in person, not online. So yeah. So if you guys are wondering, I basically don't have online for the Switch because I don't use it. So yeah, don't expect me to be doing any online battles for Pokemon because I don't have it. Nova says, that sounds pretty bad. I don't think I never wanted to go competitive with Pokemon. I think, I'll be honest, it's hard. Just for them to like keep playing online, or like my experience of playing online or like against friends who also make competitive Pokemon. But I'd say going competitive in general for any game, Pokemon, TCGs, and all that, I'd say they're all pretty hard. But Just really need time and commitment. But it is what it is. Thank you, Corn, for the comment, and Noah for replying. I think these are the last two comments, and they're gonna be from Kazuki. Third day CM results, 5 out of 15. 5 wins out of 15 races. 2 wins first ticket, 1 win second ticket, 2 wins third ticket. Still second place, always. I think this is getting ridiculous at this point. 16 times second place and only 9 wins with my Coston Light. Third place 5 times and non-placers 15 times. She's only getting either 4th or 5th place with non-placing. Nova says, it's always the 2 wins, man. That infuriates me. And then Kazuki says, yeah, same here, but it infuriates me more because of that 16 times second place. It's ridiculous and it hurts me a lot. I think my Coston Light have enough guts. Jokes aside, I think she lacks the acceleration and explosive burst skills for sprint, especially for the great escapers. That's why she's always getting overtaken neck to neck, nose to nose, and getting that second place. Not enough acceleration and explosive burst at the last spurt or straight line. Then Nova says, to be honest, Machan has been the only Great Escape that I've seen with such potential. Great Escape Suzuka is another one, but I don't think I've seen that many of her this CM. Machan. Like, Aston Machan? She's a Great Escape? I don't have her. But I didn't know she was a Great Escape. Now I'm curious. Is she? I mean, you do have her, so I wouldn't want to doubt you. I wouldn't want to doubt you, or did you just mean as a regular escape? Because I'm looking at Valentine's Machan, and I don't see the Great Escape green skill on her. So I'm just gonna assume you mean normal escape. But then you mentioned Suzuka, so now it's weird. Unless can you inherit Great Escape? Can you? I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you answer that, Nova, since I'm confused at the moment. Oh crap, there's so many responses in this one. This is just a conversation between these two. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just go over it. It's holy crap, where am I? There I am. I'm gonna be honest. As I'm quickly looking through the responses, I'm gonna be honest, you two, Nova and Kazuki. This should have been taken to Discord. Because for the most part, there's nothing for me to say. Y'all are responding to each other like it's just between a conversation between you guys. So, yeah, how about we leave those kind of comments to Discord? Because I have no place in this. I'm literally just reading a conversation for the most part. So, I'm gonna be honest, to save me a little bit of time because we're already over an hour. I'm gonna just like and heart this because this is way too many responses. This is looking like it should be on Discord rather than in the comments section, you guys. So I'll just move on to the last comment from Kazuki, and the last comment of the comments. 4th day CM results. First ticket 2 wins, second ticket 4 wins. Nice. Wait, are you in group B? Yeah, you're in group B with as well, right? If I remember correctly. 4 wins, and third ticket 4 wins, almost 5 wins. But yeah, as always, second place at the last race on the third ticket. But wait, you already had gotten 4 wins and 1. I mean, if you're winning group B, I'd say just getting 3 wins and it's fine. Every other win is just extra. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. But other than that, thank you, Kazuki, Nova, Eugen. Kazuki, Nova, Eugen, Tanoki, Porn, and Rick for the comments. Appreciate as always. And yeah, we should have made it to Group B because I did get a total of 2 wins, I believe, from the 20 races. 20 races? I did, I think, 1 from Cowstone and 1 from Cap, if not both from Cap. So we made it to Group B. That's all that matters. Unfortunately, the both times. Well, actually, I did see I got the win the first time. I just didn't talk about it right away. I did see the win the second time. I just didn't pay attention. So yeah, we should be in Group B because it says B right here. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. This is surprisingly a longer pretty derby video. Wait, actually, hold on. There are like 2 more comments I do want to go over. It's from one from the Pokemon video from Rick. Hold on. Okay, that confused me. Kazuki, you just confused me right there. I think. Never mind, not Kazuki. Kazuki, it confused me because I see your comment pop up here, but I think I didn't go over this comment. Or you left this comment and I didn't see it because it was it was from day 1, round 1, and I didn't see it because I was going over day 2, round 1. I guess I'll go over these comments too. So the one from Kazuki says 2nd day CM results. I'll just quickly go over it. Has always wins, always neck to necks, pretty much related to the same comments from the other ones. 1 more day left, see if I can advance to Group A, but yeah, we're not expecting too much. Okay, so I'm assuming you did go into Group B. But thank you, Kazuki, for the comment. And then the next comment is from Rick, but it is from the 6th Pokemon video. And it says, most of the time on these videos, I'm hearing the commentary while reading manga. I didn't notice you have a shiny Ampharos. Congrats. Well, I'd hold off on that. Congrats. There was literally a side quest that gets you that shiny Mareep. So I wouldn't count it entirely because everyone can get it easily. So because it's in this, can't miss it. The only way you miss it's by not doing the quests. Thank you, Rick. And then the last comment is from Nova in the Shiyu defense Zenless video on Friday. Thank you for the reminder. I think having these resets on Friday is the best for me. I can knock this out and a weekly at the same time. I do my weeklies on Monday. The Lost Void one. I generally do that when it resets on Mondays or Monday mornings. As with all the other weeklies for like the other games. All on Monday. So Mondays I'm generally a little bit longer in the dailies because I'm doing the weeklies at the same time. But thank you again, Nova, Rick, and Kazuki for the comments. Appreciate it as always. And with that being wow, I can't speak. Anyways, guys, with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your guys' weekend were, what you guys did, if there's anything noteworthy mentioning, or if there's anything else you just want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as it's appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or the Circle Request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.